Hello, and welcome back to Cozy with Chelsea, a podcast to nourish your mind, body, and soul. I am Chelsea, your host, and today I want to talk about Elle Woods. Specifically, I want to talk about why Elle Woods is an incredible reinvention character and how we can use her as inspiration to glow up and become a beautiful, incredible, empowered version of ourselves. So I know a lot of people, when they think of Elle Woods, they think of like a bubbly, feminine character, a lot of pink, perfect hair, cute outfits. And yes, Elle Woods is all of those things. But for some reason, whenever I'm really wanting a glow up or a transformation of some sort, I think of Elle Woods. And I don't think of, in my head, I see her eating the chocolates in bed after her breakup and like moping around. And it's a realistic part of life, right? Like we all have, whether it's a breakup, whether it's you're feeling sad that day or, whatever we're going through, we have all been that girl, that person in bed eating chocolate, crying. And for some reason, that's the visual I always have in my head. I have her in bed crying and then transforming into, badass Harvard lawyer who also embraces her authentic self. And that's what I really love about Elle Woods. And that's what I take from Legally Blonde, is that she never becomes a completely different person in order to become successful. She's always being her authentic self. And specifically in Legally Blonde, she doesn't start wearing black pantsuits and become cynical. She's pushing against that kind of like stereotype. I hope this is not a spoiler alert. I hope everybody at this point has seen Legally Blonde. And if you haven't, that's your assigned homework. But she becomes more confident in the woman that she already was. Like that's the overarching theme of that movie for me. And I think that's an important distinction when we're talking about reinvention, right? A makeover, quotation marks, doesn't have to mean who do I need to become. Sometimes the better question is, who am I when I'm not watering myself down? Or who am I when I'm not trying to fit into somebody else's box? So I want to talk through today what this actually looks like to have an Elle Woods-level transformation. So we are going to start with the fun part, which is looking like you care about your life. Now, this is not going to be surface level. We're going to get a little bit deep in here. However, I have personally found, especially when I'm feeling a little bit low, that the way that I look can enhance the way that I feel about myself. And it becomes so much more than that, so much deeper than that, right? So it doesn't mean that you need to look like, I'm not telling you to look like Elle Woods, okay? I'm not telling you to go dye your hair blonde or, have full glam makeover, whatever, okay? What I'm saying instead is what makes you specifically feel ridiculously good, right? And maybe that is blonde hair. Maybe it is a full glam makeover. Maybe it is no makeup at all. Maybe it's wearing vintage clothing. Maybe it's switching from gold to silver jewelry. I don't know. For example, I'm wearing these earrings. I'm walking the walk. I've been wearing silver hoops, which I'm still wearing and I still love. And I'm like, okay, why don't I switch this up a little bit? Why don't I have a little fun with what I'm wearing and something that feels really good to me? So again, not saying that you need to dress like Elle, but channel her authenticity when it comes to the way that you want to look. And even if you're thinking, is this too much? Am I too dressed up? Are people going to think this is ridiculous? Who cares? Elle Woods wouldn't care, so you shouldn't care either. So the real question here is, if nobody else had an opinion, what would you look like? What would you wear? How would you style your hair? What perfume would you wear? What would your nails look like? I mean, I've been getting my nails done and I've been a natural nail girl for so long, but I have moments where I want to get my nails done. It feels good. I feel good. It makes me feel good. And my nails They do look incredible. I really believe that personal style, it gets to be powerful when it becomes a version of self-expression rather than just approval seeking. Okay, so obviously we need to have the glow up, go out there and get some clothes that actually feel good. Do your makeup, do your hair in the way that you like to do it, whether that's no makeup at all, full glam. Now, the second part here is becoming more yourself. I think that there's an idea when it comes to personal development or self-improvement that becoming the highest self version of you means that you have to completely reconstruct your personality. I see this so often, but it's thinking, okay, I need to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and then I need to meditate for an hour, and I need to never watch TV, never watch social media. I need to speak differently. I need to dress differently. I need to stand differently. I need to become extremely serious. So I really want to reframe this piece here, because your next level doesn't need to be an idealized version of another woman, right? Like, especially when you're looking through Pinterest and you're seeing these perfectly curated photos, those are perfectly curated photos, right? Like, we are not seeing someone's entire existence in the one photo that we see on Pinterest, okay? So, of course, look and feel the way that you want to, but how can we focus really on becoming more ourselves? Meaning, what would it look like if this next level version of you was really just trusting your own personality? When you look at a movie like Legally Blonde, you see someone who, she's like very enthusiastic. She's very feminine. She's very emotional. She's very social. She's very optimistic. But she's also intelligent, ambitious, and kind, right? So she doesn't have to eliminate those traits to succeed, and neither do you. So I want you to think about what qualities you have been trying to tone down in yourself. Is it all of the emotions you're feeling, perhaps? Is it your own femininity? That is such a hard word to say. Femininity. Is that right? I think so. I see this a lot, especially in the workplace, right? We're like trying to tone down or match the other people around us, but you don't need to tone down. You're allowed to live in full expression. So examine which qualities of your own that you've been trying to tone down, and really allow yourself to show up as the fully authentic version of you. For example, I even find myself trying to tone myself down or fit into like a specific way that I want to be perceived, when in reality, I'm a multifaceted person with a lot of different interests and a lot of different personality traits, right? Like even on this podcast, I'm cozy with Chelsea, and I love coziness. Obviously, that's why I created this whole identity. And yes, I love cozy, but I love so many other things too, right? Like I love being ambitious. I love success. I love laughing really loud with my friends and dancing and being really expressive and saying how I feel and sharing my opinions. Like none of those things negate my love of cozy, but they're just other pieces of me. So just a reminder to me and to you that we don't have to tone down the parts of ourselves that we think might not be as appreciated. Because really, if we can think about it, like what if these traits are not what's keeping you from becoming the woman that you want to be, but in fact, those traits are actually the magic and the things that you should really cultivate, because it's just who you are. Some food for thought. Okay, third part I have is letting yourself want what you actually want. This is a big part of authenticity. I mean, how often have we in our lives not pursued what our actual dreams are? We've pursued the dreams that make sense, or the dreams that others had for us, the dream that seemed financially responsible, or that our parents understood, or that our partner approves of. So if we can focus more on what do we actually want, because that's what Elle Woods did. She decided that she wanted something and she went after it wholeheartedly. Now, I will say, we can get into the nuance here, because in the movie, Her dream initially is Warner, right? Which was her boyfriend that broke up with her. However, along the way, she realizes that she actually belongs at Harvard and that she actually wants to be a lawyer and becomes incredible at it. So, you know what? That's also a good point that you can always pivot, right? Like, even if you thought you pursued something because of some reason that no longer feels true to you, you are allowed to change. You're allowed to pivot. So instead of what should I want, or what would be the smartest decision here, or what would impress everybody else, you can ask yourself, if I really believed that my life could be incredible, what would I go after? I think if you were to really sit down, and that can honestly be a journal prompt as well. I mean, if you just really allow yourself to be open to all of the possibilities, what would you do? I often frame this in a way which is like, if money wasn't an issue, I mean, that's the biggest one, honestly, is finances. If finances weren't an issue, if cost wasn't an issue, if money wasn't an issue, what would you voraciously go after? And that question alone, now obviously we know there are certain obstacles, but that question allows you to expand your way of thinking to realize, what is it that you actually want? Okay. Fourth part is becoming ridiculously competent without losing your personality. So I believe that this is really where Elle Woods becomes truly iconic because, first of all, she proves herself, right? She proves herself to be capable by becoming excellent, by studying, by learning. She also does it without becoming less feminine. There is such a difference between changing yourself so people take you seriously and developing yourself so deeply that people eventually have no choice but to take you seriously. And we want the latter. So what does this actually look like? Okay, I'm talking about if you have something you really want to go for or something you really want to learn, then it's learning. Learn that thing, read about it, study it, prepare accordingly, ask better questions, become really skilled at something. And also when you're becoming skilled at something, allow yourself to be a beginner. We're all beginners when we're learning something new. That's okay. It is all our first time here. We are all just figuring it out. It can also look like doing the uncomfortable thing or actually taking your work seriously, especially the work that you really want to be doing, and following through, right? Like actually following through on all of this. If there is a specific, even if this is just pursuing a hobby, right? For example, I've been really wanting to learn how to figure skate. It was something I did when I was a child and I loved it, but I didn't keep up with it. And I was thinking about that the other day, and I love watching figure skating whenever the Olympics is going on. That's pretty much all I'll watch. But I was thinking, I can still learn how to figure skate. I might not have, the dexterity or flexibility that I had when I was younger, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn how to do it at the age I am now. So my point is, this can apply to anything. This can apply to work. This can apply to your dream career. This could apply to a skill that you want to learn, a hobby that you want to take up. But learn about it, read about it, study it, prepare, follow through on it. And be okay with being a beginner. It's okay if you suck at something before you're great at it. It's okay. I give you permission. And as you're doing all of this, you can keep your personality. You can keep your warmth. You can keep your sense of humor, your sense of style, your interests, your values. You do not have to look, act, or sound like everyone else in the room to belong in that room. Okay. The fifth piece I have is stop trying to be chosen. Now, this is a huge character arc in the movie where initially we know that she wants to become the woman that Warner would want. And by the end of the movie, we see that she's actually considering what's the life that she chooses. And that's the real glow up. Am I right? So often we organize ourselves around being chosen, right? And that could be by a partner. That could be by a boss. That could be by your clients. That could be by your friends, social media. So this is really just an entirely different energy. What you can start asking yourself instead is, do I choose this? Do I choose this relationship? Do I choose this job? Do I choose this friendship? Do I choose this lifestyle? Do I even like this thing? I really believe that your life changes when you stop performing for others and start choosing yourself instead. The sixth part here is creating your own snap cup. I honestly think at some point in my career I had a snap cup in the office, and you know what? We're bringing back the snap cup, except it's for you. Okay, so if you want to get like a cute jar, a bowl, a coffee mug, I don't know, whatever feels like you. I mean, you could make it nice and pink like Elle Woods, but it can be something that matches you. We're being authentic, right? And then if you want to just keep little slips of paper nearby, I'm really, really big on, obviously, there's things that we want to accomplish. I'm an ambitious person, and if you're watching this, you're probably also ambitious. So I think that we can be really great at moving forward and achieving and following our dreams. But the piece that we often miss is recognizing and reflecting on what we've already accomplished. So this is a great practice. Like, put the snap cup somewhere that you can actually see it. And every time you do something brave, or you handle something well, or you keep a promise to yourself, or you have a really good idea, or you do something kind, you're going to write that down on your little slips of paper and put it in your snap cup. You could even just add things you appreciate about yourself too. You could say, I'm super creative, I'm hilarious, I'm beautiful, I'm glowing, I'm really smart, whatever that is, put it in the snap cup. Then when you feel like it, maybe especially when you need a little boost, you pull one out and you read it. Snaps. Snaps for you. Throw some rhinestones on there. I don't know. Bedazzle that thing. Okay. Seventh part is romanticize taking care of yourself. We are not doing the whole, I'm going to punish myself until I'm hotter. We are going to genuinely take care of ourselves because we genuinely love ourselves. And obviously this is already a pillar of my life. In the past, I've certainly flirted with the more punishment side of this. Like, oh, I ate a piece of cake, so I need to go work out, etc., etc. We're not even going to go there. So this is something I do regularly, but I've really, really been focusing on it lately because it can be easy. It can be easy to compare ourselves to others. We're constantly seeing the girls on Pinterest. If you're on social media, if you're watching TV shows, it's very hard to ignore, right? So we're going to take care of ourselves because we love ourselves and really romanticize this. And this is movement that you enjoy doing. This is making sure you're drinking water. Throw some electrolytes in there. This is eating food that makes you feel good, whatever that means to you in that moment, right? Like, we want to nourish ourselves, and we want to have some chocolate cake because that can be nourishing too. We're making appointments we've been putting off. We're wearing cute workout clothes. We're going on walks. We're developing routines that feel good. Feel good. Important words I'm saying here, if you're catching my drift. A question to ask yourself here, also a journal prompt. What would self-care look like if I wasn't trying to fix myself? Something to think about. Okay, number 8. We're getting up there in the list. Number 8 is have the audacity to be enthusiastic. I genuinely love how excited Elle Woods gets about literally anything. She does not have the detached, nonchalant energy. Okay, she cares, and she cares a lot. And I think a lot of us learn to tone down enthusiasm specifically because we want to avoid looking cringe, desperate, too eager, too ambitious, too much. Okay, but enthusiasm is magnetic. Like, even if you can think of someone that you really look up to, is that person just super chill about everything? No, like, anytime I've known someone that I've looked up to, whether that's in work, in my personal life, my friends, like, these are people who are truly magnetic because they care, because they're putting themselves out there, because they're trying, right? So if we can really let ourselves get really excited, like feel excited about your dreams, care deeply. Caring deeply is an innately human thing. Celebrate wins, love things, be obsessed with things, have hobbies, and don't be afraid to tell people what you're really excited about, especially people that you really trust, right? Like we don't need to go telling people who don't care, but people you love, tell them what you're excited about. Being excited about your life is very cool, in my opinion. Okay, number 9, we're talking about making your life feel like your life. So we've talked a lot about being authentic in this episode. A piece of this is that your environment should also be authentic to you, right? We should know you live in your home. It should look like you. It should feel like you. You know, your home, your clothes, your routines, your calendar, your career, your relationships, your weekend plans. If someone looked at your life without meeting you, would they be able to tell who you are? Is your house filled with flowers? Is your library filled? I mean, God, I wish I had a library, but are the books on your shelves a representation of who you are, right? Like, do you like loud wallpaper or do you not? Do you want to have dinner parties? Do you want to have a gorgeous desk office area? Do you want to have a ridiculous coffee station? Like, again, there is not one formula here. It's based on you and your authentic style. Have your surroundings reflect who you are, because it's going to feel really good to be there. Okay, my final way to have an Elle Woods transformation is to let your dream get bigger. We've talked about how Elle Woods initially has other reasons for going to Harvard, but somewhere along the way, she realizes that she's actually capable of so much more than she thought, right? Like that really is the beautiful part of reinvention, is sometimes you start changing your life because you want this one thing, but then that process introduces you to an entirely different version of yourself. Like, this is the whole discovery of your authentic self. You start with one little breadcrumb and it keeps building until you go, oh, wow, there's all of these things I want now, or there are all these things I want to experience now. So again, giving yourself permission to let the dream get bigger. Your dream doesn't have to stay exactly the same forever. You can pivot at any point. You're allowed to want more. At the same time, you're allowed to want less. You're allowed to change careers. You're allowed to start over. You're allowed to discover a new talent. You might not even know you have a talent until you go to karaoke or a dance class or a pottery class, or I don't know, the options are limitless, right? So allow yourself to surprise yourself and grow within that dream. Again, I always say this, but really, you don't even know how good it can get. Start on the path. Allow yourself to wander. You can always come back, but you could also expand more than you ever thought possible. Okay, so I came up with a 7-day Elle Woods makeover challenge if you actually want to get really granular about this. So I'm going to go through each day. And so pick a week, start on a Monday. That's what I do. The first day, day 1, we're going to dress like ourselves. Okay, so you're going to wear something that makes you feel completely like you. Day 2, you're going to create your snap cup and you're going to write your first 5 slips and continue adding to it, of course, but that's day 2. Day 3, we're going to take our dreams seriously. Okay, so that means spending 30 minutes doing something that moves you toward something you genuinely want. Day 4 is becoming more competent. So that could be learning something, researching something, practicing something, reading, right? Day 5, we're going to do something brave. She's very brave, Elle Woods. So it could be sending that email that you've been thinking about. It could be applying for something. It could be asking a question, speaking up, posting the thing. And then day 6 is make your life more fun. And this one's up to you, okay? Do something purely because you just enjoy it. Day 7, we are going to choose ourselves. So specifically, I want you to ask yourself, what am I doing because I genuinely want it? And what am I doing because I want to be chosen? Even if you want to make like 2 lists, and then you can make decisions from there. So, I don't know if you've realized it along this journey, but the Elle Woods makeover isn't really how can I become Elle Woods. It is what would happen if I became unapologetically myself and then pursued my dreams with absolutely ridiculous levels of belief in myself. That is the idea. That is what we're going for. You do not need a new personality. You don't need to become cooler. You don't need to be less sensitive, less feminine, less excited, less weird, right? The woman that you're trying to become might already be there. Just needs a little expansion, a little growth, a little room to breathe. And she needs a snap cup. Okay. I always end with what is making me cozy. And this week, specifically, it's been raining. I'm in the desert. Rain is very rare here. And it's been so hot. It has been so hot. I go hiking even when it's hot. And there have been days where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I really don't know if I'm going to make it. I think I've been asking my friend that on our hikes every single time. It's like, I'm going to make it to the car, right? I'm going to survive. So it's been very hot. It's the hottest time. But the last few days we've had rain and the temperature dropped like 20 degrees. It smells good. It smells like rain. Obviously, we all know rain is cozy. Peak coziness. That is what is making me cozy this week. And you know what? It's raining today and I might go watch Legally Blonde right after this. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Cozy with Chelsea. I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay cozy. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.